Okay, a quick video because dinner's almost ready here, but we're underneath that bathroom. There's the toilet drain there and the tub there. This is just jank city. Try to keep it clean on the channel a little bit, but this is a real cluster here. Typical, I've already cut this drain off. This came from the sink, so just to get the sink drain out of my way, out of the floor up there, I hacked this off here. It does thread in here. I'm either going to use a Fernco rubber connection here to plastic, or I'm going to try the pipe wrench in there, see if I can turn it out, and then I'll go to a plastic thread in bushing of some kind and start with a threaded in. But we're going to continue to gradually convert to plastic as we go. This is all cast iron. This is an example of a Fernco here where it goes from iron to plastic. Sorry, the light's so hot you can't. There you go. And we had a toilet malfunction before the guys left upstairs a few months ago, which the floor was rotten, so you can see I repaired it with a square of OSB, new plastic flange to stub, and then Fernco into just a tiny bit of this cast iron that was left here quick, because I didn't want to have to tear this all apart and discover that it was going to be a beast to rebuild. So long story short, everything here, look at this, it's just a catastrophe. It's just unprofessional and quick. There's step one with plumbing: connect everything how it's supposed to be connected. Step two, do it in a semi-organized fashion. Step three, make it something that can be serviced or taken apart. And they barely achieved step one here. So you can notice I've got some PEX. It's all quick and dirty because all of these utilities are going to move, because in the end the bathrooms and kitchens are going to be rearranged upstairs. So I am just doing a bit of the same. I'm trying to make a slight improvement on how quick and dirty I do things. But the fact of the matter is, we're not here to talk about plumbing, even though we're probably 7 minutes into the video. You'll notice the floor joists. These are the floor joists. That's one there. It's been cut off. Here's one again. It's been cut off. This one has been cut off on either side of the toilet drain. Ended up needing to be right on top of a floor joist. Not a problem. You can cut it off. And this is just a couple pieces of lumber here. There's the raw end of one. There's the raw end of the other. The problem is, if you cut them off, you need to jump across from the neighbor. You deadhead it, it's called. You cut it off, and you jump across from the neighbor to the far side to the other neighbor, and you tie everybody together with a joist hanger, and you box out an opening appropriately. But they cut 2 or 3 off in a row, so you have to run all the way across the ends of them, and at a certain point that becomes something that you can't really do. And this is all notched out for the plumbing here. They just kept cutting and cutting and cutting, and this has resulted in the floor having a belly, like I was discussing in an earlier video. It's just all sagging here because it's just going and just relaxing over time and giving it up. So we got to go up here. So one of the first, and then I'll start talking about how we're gonna come back and repair it. But one of the, I'm having a hard time here showing you. I've got a piece of LVL here. Notice the piece of lay down the light if I can briefly and not knock it over. This is just a loose piece of LVL laying here. It's a giant 2-inch thick almost piece of plywood, and it's going to span all the way across 3 or 4 of these joists that have been cut off. And I've got a chunk of it on the floor that I'll show you. I'm up on the ladder here. I've got a chunk of it here again as well. And this is just a really heavy, when I say heavy, I mean robust. It's a robust and tough material. It's thick, but it's not terribly heavy. And I've got it here to spread the load. And I've got a big long section of it there. Don't be confused by these 2x4s. They support this drywall, which was dropped from the rest of the space to accommodate all the P-traps and everything, because there's plumbing throughout this area, so they just let it fall where it may, and then when it ended up way too far down below the joists, they just boxed it out with 2x4s and put some drywall over that, and it's just a total scab job garbage. And we had that toilet failure here, and it all got soaking wet and fell into our laundry. This is my washing machine here. It made a mess, but again, I don't want to be distracted too far. I digress. We're going to put a bottle jack here, like a 10-ton jack, or excuse me, a 20-ton jack. I own 2 of those. That's all I own. They're way more than necessary, but we're going to set the bottle jack here. We're going to take a measurement between the top of the jack and that piece of LVL. When it goes up and touches several floor joists, they go this way. That's why I said don't be confused by these. The floor joists come over here. Here's our main carrying beam. They come over like that. We're going to throw this across them, stick it up with a couple screws just to hold it up there, take a measurement to the jack, cut a pair of 2x4s and mend them together into a post, cut them to that length, set it on the jack, and then just and we'll just go up, up, up. And you'll see, I don't know if I can show you here, maybe I can if I get the light. You can see this edge of that matched lumber. It starts flush up here and it gains an inch. It hangs down about an inch at the lowest point, and then it goes back up to flush over there. And so that's right where you stand in that bathroom. And so we've basically got to push all these floor joists up until the ends of that matched lumber go up to being flush with the other ends where they were cut from, and everything becomes flush, and we'll know that we've taken that belly back out of the floor. And then it'll all stand there supported, and I'm going to take all the scab garbage that runs from one cut end of the joists to the other cut end of the joists, take it all out, and then we'll get like lumber the same size as the floor joist, or maybe just a touch smaller, 2x8 or 2x10, and we'll come down 3 or 4 feet of the existing joist, past where it's cut off. We'll span that opening where it's been cut and removed, and then we'll go another 3 or 4 feet past the other end of it, and we'll hem everything together with all kinds of fasteners the way that you would built in a new build, and we'll do that on everybody that's been who have been cut, all the joists that have been cut. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll disassemble this arrangement with the jack, and we'll take it away. And it may mean that I can take the rest of this drywall crap out of here, and it'll be a little ugly for the future for a little while, but maybe it'll be worth doing. So just an update there.